burn. 1, 2, yep, good. Come on, you can go faster. Get that rope working. 3 seconds. Finish strong. Get it. Good job. Good job.
Fighting 2 times a year, you're very comfortable. Obviously, you've been through a lot right now. You're going to take the summer off. You're looking like end of the year. Will Khabib and Justin kind of dictate what you want next, or do you know what you want next at this time now that things are like decompressing within the division?
We'll see, man. I just want big fights, and I want to be, paid for them. So I just want big fights and money, I want to be the undisputed world champion. But I'm not pressing. I'm not pushing for other fights right now. I'm just going to sit back, heal up, see what the UFC wants to do, and we'll take the next step. But I think I've, paid my dues and earned my shot at a big fight.
And is another, if the title shot doesn't come your way, tying into what Goz said earlier, do you like the fresher matchups? Where like people were already talking about you versus Tony, you versus Nate, like some of them might or might not make sense, but from the fact that it's a fresh matchup, are you one of those guys that likes, hanging different skins on your wall and figuring out new game plans, new chess matches?
Yeah, for sure. I'm interested in all those fights. I'd like to fight all those guys. It just has to be the right time and the right scenario, and we'll make it happen. But my goal before I'm done fighting is to be the undisputed world champion. So whatever I need to do to make that happen, if that's sit out and wait for this fight, nobody's told me that I'm next. So I'm not sure exactly what the UFC's plan is, but if it's not a title fight, it's got to be a big one.
We can have a productive couple weeks here. You almost want to be there, because sometimes hanging around and being in that area, not to jinx any of the other guys, we don't want to do that, but stuff does happen. And sometimes being in the right place at the right time gets you into title opportunities.
That's a tough one, man. I don't want to slide in. I want to be picked because of, what I've done. I want to have a proper training camp. I don't want to slide in when somebody stubs their toe. I want to earn it. So we'll see what's next, man. I don't want to look too far. I'll wait on the UFC to call me.
But right now, we're talking about Paulo Costa versus Izzy Adesanya on The Ultimate Fighter. That looks like it's going to happen. Now, that's going to be the greatest Ultimate Fighter in history, if not the greatest middleweight title fight in history, because the Eraser, Paulo Costa Albarracin, 13-0, 12 knockouts versus the last Stylebender, 19-0. We all know he's the 185-pound champ. We all know they're at each other's throats. He called him Ricky Martin in Australia. And I always say, yeah, he looks like Ricky Martin, but he hits like Mike Tyson.
That was a fantastic fight. Was not fight of the year. Fight of the year at this point was Hooker versus our own Paul Felder. I thought that was a little bit better. I will tell you this, though. The greatest round that I have ever seen in combat took place between Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas the Hitman Hearns, and that was in 1985. I believe that round 2 of Hooker Poirier is the greatest fight in combat since. The fight as a whole, look, there is something going on at the Apex. And Errol, people have speculated that it's the size of the cage, that is why we are consistently seeing so many great matches. I can't argue, but I don't know that I can agree. I don't know what the size of the ring has to do with it. I want to be part of this conversation. I just don't know, but I can tell you, whether it's the lack of crowd, one thing that we talk about as sports guys there a lot of times is who has the pressure. What we don't do a good job is explaining to the audience what pressure does to an athlete. And it only does one thing. The more pressure you feel, the more fatigue you will reach at a quicker period of time. I would maintain for you, possibly with the lack of crowd, possibly with an environment similar to what they're used to in that of a training room, possibly guys are reaching fatigue later. I am seeing more output and more energy. And if I could leave you with one final thought, at one point in the fight, Dan Hooker threw a 10-punch combination. He landed a 10-punch combination. Ariel, when I'm training very hard on a heavy bag, no resistance, nobody punching back. I've never thrown 10 punches for no reason. He threw 10 punches and landed all of them. Come on. That was an amazing fight, but I can't give him fight of the year. I think it's Hooker. Hooker is such a competitor. Hooker, I imagine, is very proud of himself for what he just accomplished. Amazing battle.
Tell him.
But I would also imagine that hunger of Hooker has not gone away. I imagine he's probably hungrier than ever. And while he's going to need a little bit of time to heal up,
Couple days.
he knows his own body. He knows the bumps and bruises he's going to take. He knows he doesn't need months off, but more like 7 to 10 days, fly home, rest a little bit, get back into camp. I'm just making a guess.
Spot on.
But I do believe if Poirier steps forward first and says, give me Tony, he's going to have Tony. And I do believe if Hooker steps forward first and says, give